There are a lot of great reasons to make a video of your flight. Training, beautiful destination, or for YouTube. Whatever your reason is, you may be asking yourself, how do I record in-flight video? Well, we've got the answer on that and how to do it the right way coming up. Alright, most of us already know how to use a camera, so I'm going to go over the basics of recording in-flight video rather quickly, and then we can move on how to take your shots to the next level. Let's kick this off with talking about what you'll need to record your in-flight videos. A camera. And every camera is built for a purpose, like the one we use to record our videos in studio is great for in here, but doesn't work so great in the airplane. To pick the right camera, we need to look where we're going to be shooting. Airplanes are generally small and have tight quarters, so ideally we want a camera that is small, lightweight, and has a wide viewing angle to catch everything that's going on in the cockpit. Good image quality is a must too, and it needs to be able to withstand the vibrations of the airplane so your video doesn't come out mushy or jello-y like this. The best cameras out there for this are action cameras. They check most of or all of the boxes. In my opinion, the best camera for in-flight video is a GoPro. These are my GoPro 5 Blacks, and they work great for me and what I do with them. Plus, you can pick them up fairly cheap on the used market. You can find them locally at different marketplaces like Facebook or OfferUp, but I found the best deals to be on eBay. I paid about $130 for each one of mine. Now, I like the GoPro 5s because they offer decent image stabilization and great video quality at a reasonable price. I typically record my videos at 2.7K with a wide viewing angle and 30 frames per second. This gives me a great video file to edit inside of the end. What settings you use depend on what you're trying to accomplish with the footage. If you're recording your flights for review, 4K may be a little overkill, but it would be perfect for capturing those flights into beautiful locations. Another nice thing about GoPro is the huge accessory aftermarket. You can find a mount that'll go just about anywhere. Semi-permanent ones with double-sided sticky tape are great too if you're going for the same shot every time, like you would if you were training. But the go-to mount inside of an airplane is a suction cup mount with an arm. I've used these guys from Ram Mount for the last few years, and they're fairly easy to use, and I can quickly get the camera set up. They've been great with the occasional hiccup. Now, where you mount your cameras depends on what you're trying to capture. For instance, if you're flight training and want to record your lessons, you probably want to mount your camera overhead, capturing your inputs, gauges, and out the front of the plane. But if you're vlogging, you would want a camera pointed at you, with a secondary one pointed at what you're doing. For beautiful scenery and landings, there are countless places that you could mount your camera, and you may even want to have more than one to capture it all. Now, unless you want nothing but the sound of the roaring engine and whooshing air, you're going to need a way to get your cockpit audio connected to your camera. A while ago, we made a video on how to record cockpit audio, which goes hand in hand with this one. Because of that, we're going to skip over how to record cockpit audio in this video, so make sure to check it out from the description in the link below. Alright, with what we've already talked about, you should be able to get a camera, a mount, an audio adapter, and start recording your flights. So now we're going to talk about taking things up to the next level to get shots like this. Now, before we move on, a little disclaimer. In our video on recording cockpit audio, we used a couple of products from N-Flight Cam. They liked what we had to say, so they sent us over a few more things to try out. Now, they're not sponsoring this video, but their products helped me get some of the great shots that I got. So you're going to see me talking about their stuff and using it inside of this video. If you're interested in what you see, you can find links to the items down below. Any one of the things we're about to talk about are going to improve your video recording game. So I'm going to start back at the beginning, but this time we're going to do things a little different and go into a bit more depth. I'm also going to make a few assumptions here, like maybe you want to create a vlog, better destination videos, or record your flight training in a different way. Starting back at cameras, I love my GoPro 5 Blacks, and they've done a fantastic job for me in what I'm trying to do. But there are better cameras out there, like the GoPro 7 Black. It has slightly better image quality, but where it really outperforms the 5s is in image stabilization. This is a big deal when we're talking about airplanes because the engine shakes the plane and makes things vibrate. This can cause your camera to have that mushy or jello-y effect I showed you earlier. Here's the effect we're talking about on one of my cheap action cameras. Now, when I move up to the GoPro 5, it's not so bad, but it's still there. On the GoPro 7, it's completely eliminated. This makes the GoPro 7 a better choice for recording in-flight video, and the one I would recommend if you have the budget for it. But you can get great video from the GoPro 5 depending on how you mount it. Some places in the airplane are more susceptible to vibrations than others, and it's going to be trial and error to find the right spot for you. I found that mounting to interior panels helps absorb some of the vibrations. Now for a nifty tool that can help you with those shots out the nose. One thing that plagues most cameras is the propeller. You see, video is just a bunch of still images displayed one after another, and each picture is called a frame. Propellers move so fast that each frame can capture the propeller in a different position, messing up your video. But you can get rid of it with a neutral density filter. Sometimes called a prop filter, these guys work by filtering out some light, forcing the camera to expose each frame a little bit longer. This gives the propeller time to move through the frame, greatly reducing or completely eliminating this effect. The filter I'm using here is from N-Flight Cam and fits the GoPro series of cameras perfectly. It locks on with this little screw, making it really easy to take on and off. Plus it comes with this nice little carrying case so you don't break it when you throw it into your flight bag. The next thing you can do to get better video is to use a better mount. Like I said before, my RAM mounts have been great, but changes in altitude and pressure can cause them to lose suction and fail. That's one of the reasons I like the suction cup from N-Flight Cam here. It uses a pump to generate suction, making it easier to attach. Plus it has this nifty red line that means the cup is losing suction. When you see it, you can give it a quick pump and it locks it back into place. The cup itself is neat too because it's designed to work with curved surfaces, which a lot of aircraft have. When I couple this with a solid arm attachment, I can get the camera in a lot of great places, which leads us to our next topic: where to put your cameras. Again, aircraft are small. This limits our options as to where we can place our mounts, so a lot of aviation videos start to look the same. To fix this, you should put your camera in unique places. For instance, take this shot. We can make it a little different if we move the camera higher. Even though we only moved it a couple of inches, it gave the shot a fresh look, which can really appeal to others. Taking it a step further, you can get another camera, and I know we mentioned this before, but we'll explain it a bit better now. Another camera gives you another angle or shot to work with. Switching between the two breaks up your shot and gives the audience a new perspective. Now I take this a little further and shoot with a lot of cameras to make things feel more dynamic. Moving between so many different angles gives the impression of a higher production value and helps the small space that we're in feel bigger than it really is. The last thing that we can really do to kick things up a notch is to move outside the plane, which helps get shots like these. Going back to unique camera placement, doing this can really grab viewers' attention because it's an angle they typically don't get to see. To get the shots you see here, we're going to use these mounts from N-Flight Cam. One key feature they all have in common is that they're made of aluminum. Unlike plastic, which can easily crack or break, aluminum allows the mounts to withstand changes in temperature without failing. They have adjustable ball mount heads too, letting you get the camera exactly where you want it and then firmly lock it into place with a hex key. But let's take a closer look at each one of these guys. This wing strut mount installs in just a few minutes and doesn't require any tools. It's a quick and temporary solution to get your camera outside the plane for some great shots of landscapes and landings. You can mount the camera above the strut or below it, depending on what you're trying to capture. Now the strut mount is great if you have a plane that has a strut, but what if you don't? That's where this spanner mount comes in handy. The spanner mount allows you to place it anywhere you have two screws, like inspection plates, which is how I mounted this one here. It has a rubber footing too, which won't mess up the paint. I like this one the best because I feel like I can mount it in more unique places, and it still provides a steady base for the camera. Now for our last mount. It's possibly the simplest of them all and requires only one screw. This surface spud allows you to attach the ball head in the most minimalistic way possible. It's nice because it's so small you can leave it on the plane all the time. And because of how easy it is to mount, you can virtually put it anywhere. Now real quick before we end this one, when mounting cameras outside of your plane, make sure you follow all FAA regulations. Some external mounts require an A&P sign-off, and I'll leave a link to some information on that down below, so make sure to check the description. Alright, that should be everything that you need to know to start recording your flights or step up your recording game. If you have some other solutions, let us know down in the description. We'd love to hear about them. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that like button and consider subscribing. Also, a big thanks to N-Flight Cam for sending some of their products our way to check out. As always, share aviation wherever you can, and we'll see you in the next one.